What is up, guys? It is AJ from MMA Experts, and we are talking about the fight between Will Fleury and Kent Kauppinen. This is actually a pretty fun fight in the Bellator middleweight division. I think it's competitive. I think it's back and forth, and it's a kind of clash of styles here. Fleury a bit more of a grappler versus Kent, who is a lot more of a striker, pro boxing experience as well. But let's get into a preview of both guys. I have their records here. Let's first click on Will Fleury and talk about him. 7-3 as a pro, is 31 years of age, pretty tall guy at 6'3". He is coming off a loss though outside of outside of Bellator against Masij Razinski. Don't know him personally, to be honest with you guys, but does have a win in Bellator against Justin Moore, and prior to that a loss to Norbert Novielli Jr. Should be a fun matchup though in his return to Bellator against Kent Kauppinen, who's had some fun fights here. His name's kind of hard to say, to be honest with you guys. Now, it does bring up his boxing record, 5-13. Not a pretty boxing record, but he does have pro boxing experience. But let's talk about his MMA career. Coming off a win over Andy Malazano by forearm choke. Before that, had a very competitive fight in 2019 against Melvin Manhoff. It was really entertaining. It was back and forth. He had Manhoff down a little bit. Granted, yes, he didn't go for the kill in that final round, but he still gave a competitive fight to, a high-level guy, one of the more high-level strikers in MMA. But prior to that, a lot of boxing matches, a lot of losses in boxing, but did have a big win, 2 straight in boxing by decision and a knockout. So pretty impressive, and I believe one of those guys, the one that he knocked out, I believe, was actually undefeated in his boxing career. So yes, his record's not pretty. He does have some solid skills. But let's get into this stylistic matchup between these two guys here for Kent. I think that his solid MMA striking mixed with the pro boxing striking is going to give a lot of problems to Will Fleury here. He does have a KO win over Alessio Sakara as well, which I forgot to mention, and he has a lot of power in his hands. Now, he is susceptible to takedowns, and I would not be surprised if he gets put on his back here. For Will, he will look to close the distance. He wants to get you against the cage and try to get this fight to the mat. He does have really good Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu skills, and he will look for submissions. Now, I think Kent has enough defensive skill to fend off the attack of Will, because I don't think Will Fleury is the greatest grappler in MMA history, and I think that Kent is going to have good enough defense to stay on his feet. Granted, he might be put on his back a bit, but he will get back up, and I think that you see Kent Kauppinen get a knockout victory in round number 2 over Will Fleury here in a very fun fight. But alright guys, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. Also guys, follow my social media, Instagram, Twitter, and I'll see you all in the next video.